Hello there, welcome to another Grim Darkness Battle Report. Today we are playing another game of Dropfleet Commander, and this time we have a wonderful deep cut studio mat. We will be playing a 1,500 point battle, or clash, I can't remember which one it's called. And we will also have the battleships. Again, it's PHR and Shaltari, and we're going to be playing Power Grab. So we're using the column approach type. We move on from the corners. And there's all these sectors. Special rules are you get double points if you have the sectors with a power plant in. So yeah, this is the board as it stands. We've got quite a lot of there's quite a lot of debris fields, but hopefully that should switch up and make it interesting. And yeah, we will be using battleships, which is quite a big thing. Must say both fleets are under construction because we decided to add more ships in and play a bigger battle. And we'll be doing this battle report in two ways. So I'm going to make two versions. One of them will be quite short and have end of turn roundups, and the other one will be everything, so dice rolls and all that. Anyway, now we're going to move on to the lists. Okay, this is the Shaltari fleet. We have over here in this group, we have a Obsidian, a Jet, and two Jades. We then have a Emerald, a Basalt, and 3 Void Gates. We then have the big daddy of the fleet, the Diamond battleship, along with an Opal for protection. We then have a Amber, a Topaz, Amber with 2 Topazes, Topai. And then over here we have an Emerald, 2 Amethysts, and 3 Void Gates. So that's 1,500 points of Shaltari. There is a Star Elder on the Diamond battleship as well. Here we have the PHR fleet, the Flying Bananas, or the people of the Minion Republic, or Banana, I like bananas, Banana Republic. Okay, we have an Icarus with 4 Medeas. I would like to say that this fleet is still a little bit under construction. I just need to do a lot of fins. Lots and lots of fins. So we have an Icarus with 4 Medeas. We have a Theseus with 2 Pandoras. There is a Hector. We have the Heracles battleship with 2 Europas. On there is a High Director. High Director is my admiral. We have a Bellerophon, and we have a Ganymede with 2 Andromedas. And that is 1,500 points of PHR. Okay, this is turn 1, first activation. Because we are doing the column approach type, we're only going to be using 2 battle groups this turn. So this is the first draw. See what we've got. Okay, so we have 7 for the PHR and 13 for the Shaltari. So the Shaltari are going to go first. Dirty space hedgehogs. End of Shaltari first activation on turn 1. So we have the 3 Void Gates, the Emerald and the Basalt. They did silent running as their order. The Void Gates didn't use that, they just came on standard and they've gone down a level. And the Basalt and the Emerald have just gone on to silent running. So now we'll move on to activation 1 for the PHR. End of PHR first activation. The battle group did the max thrust move and came on. The 2 Andromedas didn't use the max thrust, they use standard orders. The Ganymede dropped a layer because they're slow and I want to get it over to those sectors. So now we're going to move on to the second activation. Okay, second activation of turn 1, and we have 9 for the PHR and 10 for the Shaltari. Okay, so once again the Shaltari are going to go first. End of Shaltari second activation. We have an Emerald, 3 Void Gates and 2 Amethysts. They've just moved onto the board. We'll probably do some dials here, but so it's actually that Void Gate, that Void Gate, that Void Gate. They've all gone down a layer, and the mothership's on silent running, and that's basically it. So now we're going to move on to the second activation for the PHR. End of the PHR second activation. It was the Icarus and 4 Medeas. So the Icarus, the battle group, decided to do silent running. So this Icarus is currently in silent running and he's still in high orbit. The Medeas all did standard and dropped. So we've got 1 Medea there, 1 Medea here, and 2 there. Just to mention in regards to the way we deploy, if it looks a bit weird, it's because you have 12 inches along this board edge and 12 inches along that board edge. You can kind of come on from any point there. Unless we're wrong, please do tell us in the comments if that's the case. And obviously we're trying to avoid the debris and stuff, that's why it looks a bit strange. So that is the end of the PHR second activation. Okay, first activation of turn 2, ready to time flip card, and 7 for the PHR, 10 for the Shaltari. PHR are gonna go, we're gonna go first this time, we're gonna go first. And at PHR activation, the Ganymede and the 2 Andromedas, moved up. Standard orders, and so I've lost the spike on the Ganymede. Time for the Shaltari. Okay, Shaltari activation, the Emerald, silent run-in, as well as the 2 Amethysts, and the little void gates moved up. They're still in low orbit. That gate, and that gate. They're all still in low orbit. The other ships are still in high orbit, and that's the end of their activation. Moving on to the next activation, and we have, oh no, the diamonds coming out. Look at that, the flag for the Shaltari, and I have my Icarus and Formideas. I think we're going to let the Shaltari go first. Let's see where the diamond appears. End of the Shaltari activation, and this diamond battleship has appeared out of fold space, ready to ruin my day. I'm very apprehensive about the gun this thing, hasn't it? Massive gun. Also want to point out, this is the first ship that is named. You can just see its little label there. Eternity of Carnage. So that's going to be fun. Let's see what it does to the banana PHR. Okay, they just moved on, standard orders, nothing special there. So now we move over onto the PHR activation. End of the PHR activation. We've done silent running for this whole group, the Diaz and the Icarus, and they've just moved up. They might look a little bit strange because I forgot that you couldn't turn when you use silent running, so I tried to put them back kind of so they weren't turning or hitting debris field to move them back a bit, so they might look a little bit out of place. Yes, now we're going to move on to the next draw. Okay, next activation draw, and so we have 13 for the Shaltari, 10 for the PHR. I'm going to let the Shaltari go first. Okay, for the Shaltari activation, both of these cruisers moved up, still in high orbit, and a couple of void gates. This one, this one, and this one. But yeah, they've all just moved up, nothing special. And now we are on to the PHR activation. The PHR activation, the Bellerophon has max thrust onto the board. He's gone down into low orbit and is now here. He decided he wanted to catch up with the rest of the group. So powered on, out of fold space, lit up his engines and has moved there. Hopefully the spike is not enough. Well, it shouldn't be enough. He's going to get hurt this turn, but we'll see what happens. So now we're going to move on to the next activation draw. Okay, next card draw. So we have the Heracles for the PHR and with Europas. 17 against 7. So who's going to go first?
I'm going to go first.
So Shaltari are going to go first. Shaltari activation, the Amber and both Topazes have moved on. Standard orders came like this angle, kind of. Yep, they moved on, nothing special. I have a feeling a lot of death is going to happen next turn. Anyway, now we're going to move on to PHR activation. The main event has happened, people. The PHR battleship is on the field. He's ready, he's come in, he's going to do some damage, and if he doesn't, I'll be very upset. So what we've done is he has come in with his group on max thrust, come in from kind of this angle. I did that because he should still be out of range of almost all the enemy, but also because I want him in there, I want him to come in and start fighting. But yeah, he's there, he's ready. He will be getting a name once he's completed. Once all the fins have been added. So yeah, that's the end of the PHR activation. Now we are going to move on to the next activation draw. Okay, I lied. That's actually the end of turn 2, but we do have the launch asset phase. So my Bellerophon and both the Andromedas, or Pandoras, can't remember which. Anyway, those three ships were within range of this Shaltari mothership for max thrust anyway of the bombers. So we put 6 bomber tokens, 4 from the Bellerophon, 2 from the frigates onto the Emerald, and we'll be resolving them at the end of the Emerald's next activation. Okay, so that is the end of turn 2. First activation of turn 3, people. Let's see what happens. It's getting tense now, getting tense. Okay, so we have the next battle group, the one that's off the board for the Shaltari, and we have the 4 Icaruses. 4 Medeas and the Icarus for the PHR. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to we'll let the Shaltari go first. We'll let Shaltari go first and see what happens. Okay then, everyone, the Shaltari Vanguard battle group moved on. We have an Obsidian, a Jet, and 2 Jades. Standard orders, high orbit. They came here. They came on. They want to do some sniping. So it goes. Now time for the PHR activation. For the PHR activation, we did a standard order. This Icarus moved up. It's not in range or anything currently. So no firing went on again. All the Medeas, so these 2, they've moved up to a little bit turn in and dropped into atmosphere, ready to deploy the glorious PHR ground forces to take that sector. Same over here, moved up, went into atmosphere, and same over here, moved up and went into atmosphere. So all good there. Now we're going to move on to the next activation draw. Okay, next activation draw. Theseus and 2 Pandoras and the Void Gates, Emerald, and Amethysts. We are going to let the Shaltari go first here. For the Shaltari activation, this Void Gate, he moved closer to this cluster. This Void Gate moved towards its cluster, as did the one all the way over here. What happened with the Emerald, and so the 2 Amethysts, they just did standard orders. The main order for this group was course change. So the Emerald did course change to try and shake off the bombers. So we're now going to roll to see if basically we lose them. So he gets a dice for each one. Roll here, and it's 4s. So that was very good. So all but 1 bomber has been removed. Okay, so now what we'll do is we have 1 bomber token. He activates now, 2 dice, and it is 2s to lock 2. So I roll 1 crit and then nothing. And now they get a 9-point defense. 5s and 6s. And there was already enough there to stop my crit. So there we go, no effect from the bombers this turn. Okay, now we're going to move on to the PHR activation. For the PHR activation, the Theseus and its 2 Pandoras, I'm pretty sure that's right, have moved up. Yes, 2 Pandoras have moved up. They max thrust because we want to shoot that mothership. It's probably not the most sensible idea because the diamond can probably see us now, but I'm going to do it. We'll get some dice rolling going on. So, max thrust, they're now within range of the Emerald because it has a minor spike and with their scan range. So now we're going to open fire. They have supernova lasers. So these are 3+, and obviously 2 more is a crit. They got burn through 3. All right, double 3. So that is 2 points of damage. So now we get to roll again. We get a 4 and a 2. So I get to roll 1 more. And we get a 1, so nothing. So that is 3 points, 3 armor saves for the Shaltari Emerald, 5 ups. And they gain a spike because the supernova lasers have flash. 2 points of damage done to the Emerald, and it gains a spike. So it's now got a major spike. And yeah, that's the end of the PHR activation. We will come back to you at the next activation draw. Next activation draw, everybody. 10 for the PHR, 16 for the... Oh, it's the diamond. Oh, the Shaltari won't activate the diamond. We are going to go first and use the... We'll let the Shaltari go first, actually. Shaltari first. So I was scared of the diamond, but it turns out it's still at range. So I didn't get hit by the massive giant laser I had on it. It moved forward a slight amount, was on standard order, still in high orbit. So now it is the PHR activation. So the PHR, the activate the Bellerophon, it did standard orders, moved just around that, managed to just move around the debris field. It then, because of standard orders, it's lost its spike and it's moved up into high orbit. And then we're going to open fire on these amethysts with the twin supernova lasers. So 2 dice, and they are 2 dice, hits on freeze, and they got burn free 6. So I rolled a 6, which is very good, and a 3. So far everything's crits now, which is very good. So that's 2. Roll again. Okay, that's a 4. So far done 3 damage. 1 more. And again, another 1. So that's 3 damage, 3 crits. So now we need to roll on the critical table. Okay, so the little amethyst is crippled. Now we'll roll to see what happens. We get a 1, which is subsystems, and then we get a 5. Energy surge. It suffers 2 additional hull points, so it is dead. Okay, now we see if it explodes. And we get a 6. So that's radiation burst. Or is it -1 for being a frigate? We'll double check that. But we'll see how far it goes. And it is another 6, but it's D3 because it's a small ship, so that's 3 inches. We will double check if it's -1 or not, and then we will resolve this. Okay, so we had a little check of the rules. You do not take off 1 for a small ship, you just add 1 for a bigger ship. So that amethyst explodes in a radiation burst, which does 2 hull points to the next amethyst with no saves or passive countermeasures. So I now need to roll on the crippling table for that amethyst. See what happens? We get a 3. And we get a 1. So a 3 would be hull, and a 1 is scanners offline. So the little ship has no scanners, okay? And 1 ship has been destroyed, which is first blood to the PHR. Now we'll come back to you in the next activation draw. Time for the next draw. What do we have? Oh, it's the big ship, the Heracles, against the line of the Shaltari. Who's going to go first?
I'm going to go first.
The Shaltari are going first. For the Shaltari activation, they did standard orders. The Basalt and the Emerald moved up. Nothing else happening from them. This void gate, moved into the cluster, went down into atmosphere. So did this one, and this one over here moved up, not in atmosphere yet though. Okay, now it's time for the PHR activation. Alright then guys, let's see what a battleship can do. We've gone standard orders, we've done a little bit of turning. We have a great big traffic jams going on here. But the Heracles battleship is going to open fire on that Emerald. We can see it because it has a major spike, and it's going to fire the Dark Matter Cannon. Alright, let's see what this does. It's a one-shot weapon, so I'm really expected to roll a 1. But we will see what happens, okay? Really expecting this to... Oh, a 6! Boom! That's not pleasant at all. So that is instantaneous, 3 damage and a cripple. So that gives it 5 damage. Is that crippled normally?
Yes.
So we've double crippled it. I'm gonna go grab my reference sheet and we'll roll some crippling tables results. Okay guys, we're back, and I have read the rules wrong for a Dark Matter Cannon. It gets 2 attacks. So let's see what this does. And we get 5. So that's 6 damage done to that Emerald, which means it has 1 point of health left. And I rolled the crippling table twice. That is nasty. Okay, crippling table. We roll a 3, which is hull. This is the first crippling roll. We roll a 3 again, which is armor cracked. So 2 additional points of damage. So it is dead. Now does it explode? We roll a 2, burn up 1, roll a 1, but +1 because of shit. So it just burns up. The Dark Matter Cannon has destroyed the Shaltari Emerald. Nice. Okay, my Europas were going to shoot the Emerald as well, but obviously they don't need to because there's just a wreck where that was. Alright, now we're going to move on to the next activation draw. Okay, time for the next activation draw. 7 for both. We get a roll off. We both have Admirals. Do you know what yours is?
Yes, only the.
We're going to check what Admirals we have. So the PHR have a High Director, which is 5 Admiral points, and the Shaltari have a Star Elder. So we're going to roll and see what happens. So PHR gets 7, and Shaltari gets 7. So let's roll again. Oh, I got a 6, so I win. Okay, I might make them go first anyway. We will. No, the PHR are going to go first. Okay, the Ganymede and the 2 Andromedas, they've moved a little bit. Standard orders, nothing special, and now we're going to put 4 shots into the Void Gate from the Ganymede from its medium caliber battery. And we will see if I do anything. It's 6s. No. Yay! Okay, now it's time for the Shaltari's activation. Okay, the Shaltari activated this Amber and the 2 Topazes. Topazes? Sounds about right. He did standard orders and they moved this way a little bit. They were just out of range to open fire or anything. And yeah, that is their go. So we're going to move on to the next activation, but it's just the PHR because I have one more battle group than the Shaltari do. So yeah, moving on to that. PHR activation, the Hector, this bad boy here, has max thrusted onto the board to try and join the fight. It's looking super hectic now. We have a lot of ships on the battlefield. The Shaltari do seem to be hugging in the corner then. Cowardly space hedgehogs. Yes, so we've moved on, max thrust, high orbit, and that is the end of turn. Sorry, we have to do launch assets and ground assets, which we'll do next. So we'll be back once we've done that. Okay guys, roll off to see who wins initiative for the launch phase. So that's 5 for the PHR, and that will be 7 for the PHR and 5 for the Shaltari. So PHR win, which means Shaltari go first. Okay, so the launch assets deployment of turn 3. The Basalt?
Yep.
The Basalt has put 4 bombers on my poor little Icarus. The Icarus has launched fighters to intercept and hopefully take them out. Both the Andromedas have also put their fighter support onto the Icarus. And over here, the Bellerophon has put 4 of its bombers onto the Amethyst in regard to dropping troops. Over here, the 2 Medeas, the Void Gate dropped a tank, and the Medeas dropped a tank as well, although one of them was shot down by the Void Gate. Over here, the Ganymede dropped a defense laser and some troops, and the Void Gate put down some troops as well. Over here, the Shaltari put down some troops and shot down the strike carriers, shot down the drop ships from the strike carrier. So many names to remember. And then over here, we deployed 1 more. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come back to you with a lot of dice rolling for the activations of all these fighters and bombers. Okay, so we're going to do the bombers against this Amethyst. So I get 8 dice, they're hit on 2s. So we have 4 criticals and 4 normal damage. Now it's point defense time. It gets 6 point defense. Yeah, so not a chance. It is dead. Very dead, and it couldn't explode and damage anything, so it only explodes 3 inches, so we will take that off the board. Time for some Shaltari bombing. So they get 8 dice with lock 3. Okay. So we've got 4 crits and 2 normal bits of damage. Now, because of all the bombers here, I get 21 point defense, which is pretty crazy. We're going to just tilt these up. So we have our 4 crits off to the side, then 2 normal bits of damage, and then we'll run the other dice out of the way. So We're going to roll 10 dice point defense to start with. We need 5s and 6s. And we get 1. Great. So that's 1 to start with, which takes off all that together. And now we get another 11. Hopefully, roll a little bit better this time. Okay, a tiny bit better. So we get 2 6s, and we get a 5. So that means I can take away 2 of the crits. So we have 2 crits that happen to the ship, and then 2 armor saves, 3 ups, which are both passed. Sorry if that got really shaky then. So that's 2 points of damage to the Icarus, which I'm okay with. Anyway, that is the end of turn 3. There's a lot of ships on the board now. A lot of ships. So we'll come back at the beginning of turn 4. Okay, beginning of turn 4. Turn it over. Oh, you gonna go first or second?
Second.
Second, so the Bellerophon is moving first. Okay, the Bellerophon activated. It is standard orders. It was here. Gonna move there. Very exciting. The only reason this has happened is because that diamond was within range. But doing this means there's a debris field between us. So hopefully, that should mean my Bellerophon does not get destroyed by the massive laser that can come out of that thing. Anyway, now moving on to the Shaltari activation. Okay, the Shaltari activation, the Amber is going to fire a disintegrator battery at the Theseus now. So it gets 4 dice with lock value 4, I believe.
3.
Lock value 3, okay. Roll in. Okay, so that is 3 crits and 1 armor save. Well, 1 normal point of damage. That was not bad. So armor save, we're fine. So 3 points of damage already done to the Theseus. And now the 2 topazes, whatever you would call the plural of them, are going to fire their disintegrator banks. And these are the lock 4 ones, yeah?
No, they're lock 3.
Oh, they're all lock 3. I am wrong.
2 damage, so 2 dice each.
Okay, roll them. So I decided it needs to stop rolling 6s because that's 4 more crits. So that means I've now lost 6 hull, which is enough to cripple me. So we'll come back with the crippling damage roll. Okay, time to roll the crippling damage roll for the Theseus. So we have, keeps rolling it out the way, a 3. So that is hull, and we're going to roll it again. And we get a 2, which is scanners offline. Okay, so no extra damage. No worries, we will put the token by him, and then we will be back at the next activation draw. Okay, time for the next draw, and we have, thrown out the way, and that's upside down. We are rubbish at drawing cards. So we have the Ganymede and the Andromeda, and we have the Vanguard, Obsidian Jet, and 2 Jades. So Vanguard is the type of group. Okay, we are going to let the Shaltari go first. The Shaltari activation, this group here, these guys, rather battleship, they have a standard order, even though that looks like it's got a major spike, it doesn't. And this Jade is going to fire its particle lance at the Ganymede. They're on different orbital layers, so we need to roll a 4 up. And we do, so that is 1 point of damage onto the Ganymede. And that's it. So now we come back at the PHR activation. For the PHR activation, we did the Ganymede and its 2 Andromedas. One of the Andromedas, this guy here, with the little red marker, active scanned. And he active scanned the amber over here because I don't like the amber right now. So he now got his major spike, and they're still within 12, the 2 groups, so we're fine. Now I'm going to use my Ganymede to bombard the Shaltari ground troops. I get 6 dice. With lock value 3. Okay, so I've done 4, I've done 2 critical hits there, so no armor save can be taken against them. So that's 2 points of critical damage, which means 2 armor saves onto the tank that's there. So 2 armor saves, these are 5 ups, and they're failed, one's failed. So the tank is dead, and the sector has lost 2 points of hull. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next activation draw. Next activation draw, what have we got? Oh, the Heracles against the Void Gates with Emerald. Who would you like to go first, Mr. Shaltari player?
I will go first.
Okay, Shaltari going to go first. For the Shaltari activation, some Void Gates moved. This one's here. And the standard orders, these two ships have moved up. The Basalt is going to open fire on the Icarus with its disruptors. So 6 dice. So this is 4s. So we have a crit and 3 points of damage. So 3 armor saves for the Icarus, 3 ups. So it takes another point damage. So it's lost 2 more points of damage, and it is still not crippled. And yeah, that's the activation. So now we'll move on to the PHR activation. Alright then guys, another Dark Matter event is going to take place. The Heracles, well, this group, these 3, they've done active scan. So this Europa has scanned the amber, so it has a major spike. It's only yellow now, we'll change it if it doesn't die. And we're going to fire the Dark Matter cannon. I didn't change the dial to take away the scan, the spike, sorry, because we're going to add it back on when it fires the gun. And then if it doesn't die from that, we'll see what happens to the Europas. So I get 2 dice, block value 2, let's see what happens. So we get a 2 and a 3, so no criticals, which means 6 armor saves for the Shaltari. These are 5 ups. The amber has 9 hull. Okay, let me get these together. So we have done 4 points of damage so far. Okay, so it's got 5 left, so it's not double crippled, but it's already crippled once because it got hit by the Heracles gun. So we're going to roll on the crippling table. See what we get. Just get in my quick reference sheet. So yeah, first roll, we get a 2, which is subsystems. I lost that dice. Then we get another 2, which is a bright flash and nothing else. So he gets another spike, but he has lost 4 points of hull. Okay. Because of that, I'm now going to fire both the Europas at it. They are in range because it has a major spike. These are lock 4. So that's 1 critical, which now means it's lost 5 points of health. So it is crippled again, and 2 armor saves. So let's just see these, which are both fine. Very good. Now critical table again. So it's lost 5 hull points. A 6, so we're on the core systems. And a 1, its engines are disabled, so it suffers a 2 additional hull points. Thrust is reduced by 50%, and it becomes subject to orbital decay. Okay, not bad. He's taken some firepower. So that is the end of the PHR activation. We'll come back to you at the activation draw. Time for another activation. What have we got? Oh, it's the diamond. Well, I'm going to go first before you destroy my Theseus. And then we'll see what happens after that. For the PHR activation, we did the Theseus and the 2 Pandoras. They've all done standard order, so they got rid of their spikes. The Theseus moved over here. They've gone straight forward. So they're within range to both further fire their supernova lasers, and they're also can fire their close action. The scanners are offline for the Theseus. However, because there is a spike on this ship, we can still see it. So we're going to open fire with the Theseus against the Amber to start with. So the medium caliber battery, the medium caliber battery is 4 shots, and these are lock 4. So that's 2 armor saves for the Shaltari. Both of those are failures, and I believe there's a dead ship. We're going to roll on the explosive table and see what happens. Okay, time to see if it explodes. We have 1 dice here. Please be a 6. It's a 1. It's a 1. Why did I say anything? So yeah, just breaks up. Nothing happening there at all. We will continue though, and we're going to fire the close action weapons. We're going to fire both of these against 1 of the one topaz. So these are close action. I'm going to fire both together. So 4 dice. These hit on. These have lock 4 as well. That's 1. So point defense. I have a feeling he's going to be able to get rid of it. Now see, because I made these ships point towards the amber, their front narrow guns can't hit anything else. And you roll 2 6s and we're fine. So the point defense didn't do anything. That is the end of the PHR activation. So now we have to see if the diamond is going to kill anything. Okay then people, we have some battleship on battleship action going on. The diamond did station keeping, it moved up and then it turned.
Course change.
Course change, apologies. It turned, so it's now got its front narrow arc on the Heracles. It's going to fire its particle lance triad and it's going to hurt. So let's get those dice rolling. Roll them here. So this is 2s. That's what he's looking for. Oh my god. The dice gods do not favour the Shaltari today. So that's 2 points of damage because it's a 2+2 damage automatic crit. And we do get to roll on the crippling table. So we'll do that now. 2 points of damage to the Heracles. And what's the cripple? A 2, which isn't great. And then we're going to roll again. That's subsystems, I believe. And then what's the next roll? A 5, which is?
Energy surge, so suffers 2 additional points of hull damage.
So 2 more points of damage. I believe it also gets another spike.
It's also subject to orbital decay.
Oh, orbital decay. So this is where I failed to repair the orbital decay, and eventually my ship dies. Anyway, he's going to now fire his close action weapons against the Bellerophon because it's within scan range. These, I believe, hit on 3s. Which?
Yes.
So these are 3s?
4s.
4s, okay. So we've got 2 hits then there. I believe I get 5 point defense with the Bellerophon. We'll double check that. In fact, we'll double check the point defense and come back. I was correct, it is 5. 5 point defense for the Bellerophon. So let's see what happens. I get absolutely nothing. So 2 points of damage done to the Bellerophon. Now we will come back at the initiative draw again. Activation draw. Ta-da! Oh, do I choose to go first or not? So yeah, we're gonna do the PHR. Okay, so the PHR, they've this Icarus. We did active scan again with this Medea here, and he's to put a spike on the basalt. The Icarus, standard orders, it moved to the side, went down a layer. It's going to roll to see if that's critical location now. We currently have 1 critical location here, which I forgot to mention earlier. So if this is critical location, 6, it is. So that's another critical location here. The other Medeas did the same thing, they just moved. I'm going to bombard this sector here with my 2 Medeas. But first of all, we're going to open fire from the Icarus, into the basalt. We get 4 shots. These are 5 now, so I've dropped a layer. And I got 3 6s. Nice. 3 armor saves on the basalt. And all 3 of them are failed. Nasty. Okay, the dice gods really don't like the Shaltari today. Right, I'm going to get the dice ready for the orbital bombardment and check the armor save of the sector, and we're back. Okay, so we're going to bombard both these Medeas against that poor little tank. You can just about see there. So we get 4 dice. These damage the sector on 4s. So I rolled a 6, which is a critical, and then 1 4. So now we get a 4-up armor save by the sector itself, which is a 2, so it fails it. So that is 2 armor saves for the tank, and I'm throwing dice on the ground. 2 armor save are 5-ups. 1 is passed, but 1 is failed, so the tank is dead. Okay, get that out of the way. So that is the end of that PHR activation. We have 1 more activation, which will be the Hector here, because we've got 1 more battle group than the Shaltari. moving on to that now. Okay, the Hector has activated, and he's gone max rust because he's crazy. Major spike, ready to get shot by some Shaltari. He is going to open fire onto the basalt. So 8 dice, lock 4. That's from his broadside. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we get a crit, and then we also get free. Sorry, there you go. You can see the crit and free armor saves for the basalt. So get them rolled in now. 2 of them failed, so that is another 3 damage to the basalt. Is that basalt crippled?
It is crippled, yes.
Crippled, right, we'll be back to you once I grab my reference sheet. Eventually, I'll remember this. Okay. I'm going to keep the reference sheet near me from now on because everything gets crippled. Okay, let's see what happens. A 1, great. Subsystems. And a 3. Fire. The fire will inflict 1 additional whole point of damage in each roundup phase. Okay, not so bad. I've set his ship alight and done some damage to it. Okay, that is the end of the PHR activation and all the Shaltari activations, so now we need to do the launch assets. Okay, let's see who wins the initiative for ground asset time. So, I get 6, 1 plus my 5 from Admiral, and the Shaltari also get 6. So, roll again. I got a 6. So, it is 11 against 7. So the PHR win once again. Okay, we're going to fire the defense battery from this sector at the basalt. So it's lock 3. I roll 6 and a 4. So 1's a crit, and I have 1 armor save from the basalt. Which just fails. That's 2 more points of damage. So it has 1 hole left.
Yeah.
Very close to death. Okay, we're going to come back once we've launched all our assets. Okay, we've deployed all the launch assets. There's some more tanks in here. There are some fighters and bombers on the Icarus. There are some bombers on the Basalt. There's some more bombers on the Hector. Some bombers on the Diamond. We've got quite a lot of PHR in this sector here. Cluster, sorry. And same as over here. Pretty even on this one. There's definitely going to be some ground combat next turn. And then there's a couple over here as well. So we're now going to do the... we're going to get all our dice together for the bombers and then okay, we're going to do the bombers against the Diamond. So we get 8 dice for the 4 bombers. Over here. So it's lock 2. So we gather all the dice together. That is 3 criticals and 2 normal hits. So it gets 12 point defense against this. Many dice, but we only have 2 successes. So you're going to take away a crit. So they take away a crit, which means there's 2 damage and 2 armor saves. Draw on the 2 armor saves.
Hitting on 4s.
1 save. So that's 3 damage done to the Diamond. Bomber time now on the Basalt. 2 sets of bombers, so it's 4s. 4 dice, 2 ups. Oh, that was awful. 1 armor save. Although 1 armor, if he fails that, he will die. Point defense time. Fine. Absolutely fine. Well, it was a 6 there. Okay, that's that done. I'm moving the terrain all over the place. I'll come back to you at this. The Shaltaris are going to bomb the Icarus. 4 dice, lock 3. 1 crit and 1 point of damage. Move those out of the way. And because of the fighters there with the Icarus, get 13 in reply. 13 point defense. So, what do we do there? So we got 2 5s, which takes away the crit. And a 5 and a 6 there, which gets rid of the rest of the damage. So no damage at all on the Icarus. Okay, and since this is turn 4, we're going to total up all the points for critical locations and everything like that. and then we're going to roll all of the orbital decays and fires and scans, see if we repair the ships, and then we'll give you a rundown at the end of that. We have totaled up the score so far, so this is the end of turn 4, and it is a 9 for the Shaltari and 15 for the PHR. There's a couple of critical locations, this one here and this one here, and we have some of the sectors the PHR have, and some of the sectors the Shaltari currently own. This ship did not burn up in flames, which is really upsetting, and my battleship still is suffering from orbital decay. It is entirely possible that that will die next turn because I failed the roll, which will be really upsetting. The Theseus' scanners are back online, and that is the end of turn 4. Right then, people, first activation of turn 5. What have we got? Oh, the Heracles against the Alliance, so the Emerald Basalt.
Well, I'm going to go first.
You're going to go first? That's pretty surprising. Okay, what's going to happen? Sorry, this is the first activation of turn 5 for the Shaltari. Just get so excited. This ship is going, the Basalt is going to ram the Icarus. It's going to run next to it and explode, which is kind of upsetting. So let's roll the dice and see what happens. On a 1 or 2, nothing happens and it just dies, gets shot to bits. 3, we're okay. So now, by okay, that ship's dead. And my Icarus might blow up as well. Rolls 9 dice for the amount of hull it starts off with, and it has a lock 3+. Well, that looks nasty. I believe crits work, so that is a grand total of 5 crits, ouch, and then 2 armor saves. One is failed, so that's 6 crits. I had 7 health. So now we're going to roll on the damage table, the crippling table. Roll 1 dice. A 4. So that is hull. As long as you don't roll a 1 or a 2, my ship is dead. A 3. Armor cracked. It dies. The Icarus is now dead. Roll another dice to see if it explodes. A 5 plus 1. It goes to 6. Radiation burst. Roll the dice again. Oh, hang on. I don't think anybody's in the same orbital layer. No, it doesn't matter. They're all in a different orbital layer, so nobody gets hit. But both of these ships are now dead. Oh, that hurt. Makes me sad. Okay, now we're going to move on to the PHR activation. We have done standard orders for the Heracles and the 2 Europas it's with. These two. It's definitely quite a big traffic jams going on in this area. I'm not going to stop making that joke. So we are going to fire the dark matter cannon at the diamond. Let's see what happens. Okay then, guys, the battleships are going to have a go at each other. The Heracles is going to open fire on the diamond. I did a standard order, both my Europas here. They can get a beeline on the diamond, who has a major spike, and so can the Heracles. So we're going to start off with the dark matter cannon and see what this does. So 2 dice, lock 2+, damage 3 each, and crippling. Wait for the double 1. Oh, a 6 and a 3. So we get 3 armor saves against one of those. 4 ups. So that's 5 damage in total from the Heracles. Not bad at all. And we need to roll on the crippling table. What we'll do is we'll fire the Europas, and then we'll roll the crippling. So we get the Europas, 6 shots, 4 to do any damage. So we got a 6 and 2 4s. So that's 1 more point of damage and 2 armor saves. Double 6, saved. Now the Europas are also going to fire their 6 shots at this void gate because they're linked. The guns are linked, so I can fire both sides, and I don't like that void gate. I rolled both 6s. Fantastic. Okay, so now we're going to roll on the crippling table for the diamond. How many hull points has it got left?
Loads. It's 18 hull points, and so far it's 8 damage.
So it's got 8 damage, so we've got 10 hull points left. Right, crippling table, let's see what we roll. A 2, so we are on subsystems. And then a 6. Energy surge, 2 more points of hull damage, so it's now got 8 hull. Cannot use special orders, and it's subject to orbital decay. Not bad. I'm going to kill that thing with the last thing I do. Now I'm going to move on to the next activation draw. Okay, one thing we just remembered. The diamond has 18 hull points. We've now taken it down to 8. We did it via a crippling effect, but it is now crippled again. So we might be wrong, but we're pretty sure we need to roll on the crippling table again. So I'm going to do that now. We get a 2, which is subsystems again, and we get a 2, which is a bright flash. Oh, how disappointing. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the second activation, turn 5. What have we got? Oh, it's the Theseus, and there's a diamond. So, the Theseus is going to go first, by the way. Alright.
That's such a shock.
I know. Alright, go back to the end of the Theseus. Theseus and its Pandoras have activated. They course changed, so both the Pandoras can fire their supernova lasers into the diamond. So we're going to roll that now. 2 dice. Lock 3. Let's see if we can burn through its 8 remaining hull. Oh, double 3, so it gets saves against that. Oh, 2 and a skull. So 2 armor saves for the diamond, 4s. 1 failed and one passed. So it's on 7 hull now. We're also going to open fire with the Theseus, his broadside into it. 4 medium caliber shots. 1 armor save for the diamond, which it passes. We then get 6 shots from the light caliber of the Theseus, so these are 5s. Ooh, and we got double 6, so 2 more armor saves for the diamond. A 2 and a 4, so it's got 1 more, so it's on 6 hull points now. Going to use the close action weapons for both the Pandoras against it as well. So these are 4 dice, hit on lock value 4, 2 4s. So if he gets 12 point defense against this, I would be surprised if this went through. Gathering all the dice, dropping all the dice. Okay, 12 dice. Let's see how it happens. Oh yeah, it's fine. 5, 6, 6. Point defense does it easy. Okay, so that is the PHR activation. So the diamond's on 6 hull now. It will die. I swear it to you. Anyway, now it's time to see what it will do back to me. In retaliation for the damage done to it, the diamond is going to fire everything at the Hercules. It's gone weapons free. It's going to try and kill it. Let's see what happens. So we're going to do the particle lance triad first. 3 dice. Okay, so that is 4 damage.
Yes, 4 damage.
4 damage has been done to the Hercules. Nothing we can do about it. Now we're going to open fire with the disintegrator banks. It gets 8 dice. These are lock
3.
These are lock 3. Okay, sorry, you can see the dice there. So we've got 2 crits and 2 normals. So we've done 6 damage, 2 armor saves. 1 is failed. So we do another point of damage. And now it is time for the close action, which is 6 attacks.
Hitting on 4s.
6 attacks on 4s. Sorry if I wiggle the camera, it's hard to move the dice about and keep it straight. 4s. Okay, so we have 2 crits and 1 normal there. And I have 10 dice in reply for my point defense. Just gathering the dice together. 10 point defense. Okay, that was pretty decent. So we can stop. We can actually stop both the crits with those, and then 1 armor save. which is failed. That is 8 points of damage done to the Heracles, which if you add the 3 it's already brings it to 11, and it's crippled.
Yeah.
So now we need to roll on the crippling table. Just let us clear some more of these dice out of the way. A 4. So this is hull. I'm gonna roll again, see what happens. A 2. Scanners offline. So the Heracles now has its scanners offline. Okay, and that's the end. Oh, by the way, the diamond put its shields up, so I can see it from almost every place on the board now. So we will see what happens at the next activation draw. Turn 5, third activation. What have we got? The Hector against the Vanguard group. I think the Hector's going to go first. See if we can finish off the diamond. Okay, everybody, this is the moment I've been waiting for. The Hector is going weapons free. It is firing all its guns, every gun, at a different target. We're going to broadside the diamond. We're going to broadside the emerald. And we're going to fire twin supernova lasers at that jade, and we're going to close action the other jade. And it's either going to go super great, and this is going to be the best ship ever, or it's going to fail miserably. So to start off with, we will fire twin supernova lasers at the jade in front of us. So 2 shots, freeze. 4 and nothing. Roll again, and we get nothing. So it's all going to go really poorly. 1 armor save for the jade. Oh, at least it fails his arm save, so there you go. He gets a minus spike now. Now we're going to fire 8 shots. These are 8 shots going against the emerald. Block 4. Okay, we have a 6, which is a crit, and then we have, so 1 crit and 2 armor saves on the emerald. 2 armor saves, please. 1 is failed. 2 damage onto the emerald. And now this is against the diamond. Okay, so we get 4 6s against the diamond, which is pretty tasty, and then 2 normal hits. But the diamond has its shields up, so he now has to take 6 armor saves. Let's see what happens. 6 armor saves against the diamond. 4 pluses, and because he has the opal there, he can reroll. So we have 4 failures. That wasn't a 4 star, was it?
I'm not sure.
I don't think that was. Anyway, you get a reroll. I will watch that take back to see if I just cheated horribly. Oh, look at that. It doesn't even matter. Save them all. The diamond survives. Okay, now I just need to work out how many close action attacks I have against the other jade, and then we'll come back. Okay, close action attack against the other jade. It's D3 plus 1 from the Hector. I roll a 2, so that's 2 dice. 3 pluses. A 6, so 1 crit goes through. Oh, if he doesn't roll, it's point defense. So we've got the roll. Yeah, no, it goes through, so 1 point of damage. So the Hector didn't do the best thing ever, but he did a little bit of damage to 3 different ships, which isn't the worst thing ever. We will now come back after the Shaltari activation. The Shaltari have activated this battle group. They're all going to open fire on the poorly performing Hector and probably blow it out of the sky. So we have the 2 jades with 2 particle lances to start with. Yeah, all around here. So that's 2 damage straight away. Nothing we can do about it. Now it's going to fire close action for those guys.
4 dice hitting off rolls.
Block 4, 4 dice. That's 2. And then we get the 5 point defense from the Hector. We get his 2 6s, which stops all of that, so we're good. Now we need the disintegrator battery from, I can't remember what ship that is.
The jet.
We can use this
4 dice hitting on 3s.
Block 3. So we have 1 critical, and then 1 normal. So roll an armor save, and it's a 6. So we've done 3 points of damage so far to the Hector. Now we have the close action from the jet, which is a beam close action. So
Which is D6 plus 3.
D6 plus 3, this is gonna hurt. 6, 9, nasty. 9 attacks with the close action. The Hector's sitting on 11 health currently. 9 dice. What is the lock?
3.
Lock 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. So up to 8 points of damage. I can't do anything about these. So 3 health left on the Hector. Should we see if we cripple it first? Because then your other ship can maybe shoot something else.
Yes.
So roll on the crippling table. See if we die. A 1. Okay, subsystems, roll again. A 3. Fire. So not dead yet. Free hole and fire. And now it is time for the Obsidian to open fire with its particle lances. So. Ooh.
Failed miserably.
Failed completely. Close action from the Obsidian. You only need to do 3 points of damage.
That is 3, 4 plus.
What lock is it?
4.
Block 4, so that's 1 crit and 1 normal, so I get my 5 point defense. Because you get point defense against each group in a battle group that fires close action at you. Although if I'm wrong, please do tell me in the comments. 5 point defense. We roll 1 5 and then 3 1s, so I take a crit. So, this poor Hector is alive on 2 health. Okay, we will come back to you at the next activation. Time to see who's going to go first in this activation. Ooh. Shaltari first, or?
Yes, Shaltari first.
So they're going to go first with the amber with the topaz. For the Shaltari activation, the topaz are going to shoot at the Heracles. So first off, their disintegrator banks. Lock 3, I believe. We're going to check. I'm pretty sure it's lock 3.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 1 critical and 2 armor saves. Both armor saves passed. And now they're close action weapons. These are lock 4. So that's 1 goes through and I get, excuse me while I grab dice. 10 point defense dice. There's a 6 there, so it stops it. So we're good. Okay. That's the end of their activation. So now the PHR will activate the Bellerophon and see what happens. My Bellerophon, over here, this guy here, is he's on station keeping and turned to fire his supernova lasers at the diamond. So it's also going to fire as close action, which I'm going to need to check on what it is. But we get 2 dice. These are 3 plus lock. A 3 and a 6. They get to roll 2 more again. We get a 5 and nothing. Roll 1 more. We get a 2, which is not good. So 3 4-up armor saves by the obsidian. The diamond. All 3 have failed. He has 2 points of health left. We will see how much close action attacks the Bellerophon gets and then come back. The point defense characteristic is D3 plus 1. So, high number please. Dice gods, hear my prayer. A 4. Okay, so I get 3. And this is lock 3. Oh, 2 points of damage, which is enough to kill. It's enough to kill, isn't it? Got 2 left?
Possibly.
I think it's got 2 left.
Armor save, so.
2 armor saves, 4 ups. Oh, 1 is passed. 1 is passed. Okay, and that's the Bellerophon's go. So we have 1 activation left, I believe, but we'll check that. We'll come back in the next activation. So the Shaltari battle group that is left to activate this turn is just a couple of void gates, which are kind of going to stay where they are anyway. So the Shaltari player isn't going to activate those. So the PHR player is going to use the Icarus and the Medeas. Although the Icarus is dead, so I'm just going to use some Medeas, which basically means I'm just going to active scan and move shuffle a little bit. Not going to do any bombardment because I don't want to blow up any of the sectors I have guys in. Yeah, but we're going to active scan 1 of the enemy ships, and then we'll move on to the next activation, which is the Ganymede and both the Andromedas. So the Ganymede has moved up a little bit and is going to open fire on the diamond, which is really shocking. You're really surprised by that, aren't you? So we get its medium caliber battery, which is 4 dice. These are 4 plus, and we get 2. So 2 armor saves for the Shaltari diamond. 1 is failed. Is that it dead or does it go on the whole point?
That's it dead.
It is dead. The diamond has been killed by a troop ship, everybody. The Ganymede, the strongest ship ever. This diamond is dead. So we're going to see what happens when it explodes. Please nothing. Please nothing.
Double 16s.
A 5. Well, that's kind of bad. That's a radiation burst. Oh no. And it goes 4 inches. We will measure out what is going to get hit by that and then come back. So, the diamond explodes in a distortion bubble and it will kill the Theseus. It does 2 points of damage to the Pandora there, and we need to roll on the crippling table for the opal. So I will roll on the crippling table for the opal. We get a 1, which is subsystems. You can't see that. There you go, 1. And then we roll again, and we get a 4. A 4 is a fire. It's on fire. So we'll put a fire token next to it. And now the Shaltari player will roll on the explosion table for the Theseus and see what happens. And hopefully it's really, really low. It's a 1, so he just dies. The poor Theseus. So I just want to tell everybody that you can kill Shaltari battleships because it's dead. Please remove from the table. John, take it away. Take it away. There you go. Oh, there's a big space. Anyway, so that is now all the activations done. We're gonna deploy fighters, deploy bombers, and ground troops, and then come back when we resolve all their effects. We forgot, once again, you need to roll for initiative for deploying assets, so we're going to do this now. Dice each. That was a 1 for the Shaltari, so the PHR, again, win initiative for this. Cool, now we'll come back once we've deployed everything. Sorry for the haphazard way in which we're filming this, as we are still getting used to all the different phases in this game. So we're going to do ground combat now. Over on this tile here, there is 1 Shaltari tank and 3 infantry for the PHR. So 3 dice for the PHR, 1 dice for the Shaltari. So we're going to roll that. It's 4s. So we get a 6 for the Shaltari and a 6 for the PHR. So 1 armor save each. Okay, so the PHR pass and the Shaltari fail. So that means the tank is dead and that sector is now all mine. Ha ha ha. Now we have over here 1 each, 1 tank each, which means 1 dice per person, 4 plus. We both get it, and now we both have a 3 up armor save. Okay, so this means the PHR is removed from this sector. How upsetting. And now the same thing is happening over here with these 2 tanks. Again, 1 dice each. So we have a damage for both, which means an armor save for both. And we both pass this time. So that is it. Okay, now we're going to deploy troops and then we will resolve bombers. Oh, before that, we're going to fire the defense batteries, then we're going to deploy troops, then we're going to resolve bombers. Please let us know if this is the right order. There are a lot of different things to sort out. Orbital, defense, laser type, wow. Just defense batteries, not the massive orbital gun. So this sector is going to shoot this guy. Freeze. 1 armor save, which is passed. And then this sector is going to shoot this guy. A 5 and 6, which is 2 crits, which means he's crippled. So crippling table time, a 6, which means he's definitely going to die because that's core systems and everything on core systems deals 2 whole points. So now does he explode? Or a 6. So he does a distortion, a radiation burst, and it goes 1 inch, which will hit absolutely nothing. Pretty sure the distance between those 2 is 1 inch, but we'll double check. Okay, so we'll come back after the bombers. When I mean after the bombers, I meant we're going to do the bombers. So there are 4 here against the jet. So that is 8 dice for the PHR, lock 2+. So that was okay. We have 2 crits and we have 5 normal damage. So now we get the point defense of the jet. So there are 4 6s and 2 5s. So you could ignore both crits and take 2 off. So then you need to roll 3 armor saves. Very good point defense roll. And that's 2 damage done, which is, yeah, it's pretty good. Now we need to do the ones on the emerald. PHR get 4 dice. And we get 2 crits and 2 normal hits. So decent bombers. And now we get the point defense for the emerald. Uh, 1 5, so you can take off one damage point, which means you need to roll 1 armor save and then take 2 crits. And the armor save was a 3, but almost fell off the table. So 3 points of damage onto the emerald. Okay. Just looking back over it, this emerald will be crippled. So we're going to roll on the crippling table. Oh, dice has run away. It's a 3, which is hull. And a 2, which is scanners offline. Not massively important. Okay, so that is now everything. This is how the battle currently looks. We do have some ships over there. Oh, we do have to deploy. Actually, we haven't deployed anybody this round. So we're going to deploy some guys. Yeah, then we will move on to the first activation of the last turn, turn 6. Okay, I lied again because we keep forgetting when things should happen. We have to do the roundup phase part of repairing damage and see if the illustrious Heracles, if it goes into atmosphere and dies. Very sad. 1 dice to see if it dies or not. So we're going to roll for the Hector first to see if I put the fire out. Roll a 6, so I do. Fire is out. Now we need to roll for the emerald to see if the scanners come back online. A 3, they do not come back online. Now, this is tense. This dice, if it's a 1, 2, or 3, I literally go into atmosphere and die. My big battleship. It's a 4! We are alive! I'm pretty happy about that. Roll again to see if the scanners come back online. And they do. Oh, the scanners are online, orbital decay is resolved. And I was going to shoot some shit. Okay, now we're going to come back with the first activation of turn 6. First activation of the last turn. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, the topaz. They're going to go first. Oh, I think you're going to. Yeah, okay. Let's see what the topaz can do. So, the topaz eye are going to open fire on the Heracles. So, yeah, let's roll some dice. Let's see what happens. Some dice roll. So that's 2 criticals and 1 armor save, which is passed. Okay. Now we're going to do 2 crits, and now we have the close action weapons. I believe it's lock 4, so that's 1 critical, and we get 10 point defense. So those 2 stop a crit, and that stops the other one. So no damage from the point defense. Okay, so that's the topaz done. Now let's see what the Heracles can pull out. Right then everybody, the moment I've been waiting for. The Heracles has gone weapons free. Every gun will be shot at everything. We are going to fire the dark matter cannon at that frigate, because why the hell not? We're going to fire one of its heavy caliber broadsides at this frigate, its close action at this frigate, and the other heavy caliber broadside at the jet. I know I did this last time with the Hector and it didn't work out at all, but it just seems a waste to not fire everything at every different ship. So I am on a different orbital layer, so it will be freeze to dark matter cannon this frigate, and it does have its shields up.
Yes, yes.
So 2 dice, freeze. We get a 4, and we get a 6. So he now needs to take 6 armor saves. Four ups. I believe it can use its own power for itself, so we can re-roll these. Okay, so that's 4 failures, which you get to re-roll because of the joyous strength of an opal. And it then takes 2 more damage, so it's double crippled. Just grabbing the crippling sheet. So, cripple once, I roll a 2, which is subsystems. Let's get some dice out of the way. Then roll again, we get a 3, which is a fire. Crippling chart again, we get a 5, which is core systems, so it will be dead. It's going to die, and it won't have a big enough explosion to matter. I just dark matter cannoned a frigate, and it died. What a surprise. Now we're going to open fire with the heavy caliber broadside. This will go against the jet. It's 6 dice, it's normally lock free, but I'm down a layer, so it'll go up to 4. However, because the jet is a heavy cruiser, so its tonnage is heavy, it goes back up 3, because I get +1 with the caliber. So, lock freeze, 6 shots. Okay, that, everybody, was 5 critical hits, and 1 armor save. That was not nice. 1 armor save for the jet. It was a 5, even though it tried to run off the table. So that's 5 damage, which is pretty nasty. Now I'm going to roll the same thing against that frigate, because I can. This is 4s. Oh god, all the dice ran away. Sorry, buddy. There you go. 4 damage, which means 4 armor saves. So it passes 2 and fails 2, so I need to roll on the crippling table. I get a 6. That is definitely dead. It's actually close enough to damage the Hercules, so we'll see what happens. It explodes in a radiation burst. Does it hit Hercules? Probably not. That's 2 inches. We'll measure it and then we'll get back. But that's probably not going to hit it. The next thing to do is to do close action. D3 plus 3, and that's against this frigate. 2, so 4. 3 ups, lock 3. We'll be locked 4 because I'm in a different orbital there. So that's 2. Point defense?
Yep.
Okay, I'll bring some dice again. 6 point defense, we've done 2 bits of damage, and it rolls 3 5s, so it's absolutely fine. Okay, we'll see if the distortion bubble manages to blow up that frigate, and see if that frigate over there is crippled. Oh, I've got my Europas to fire as well. We'll see if that frigate's crippled, and then we'll come back. Alright then people, the jet is crippled. Let's roll a dice and see what happens. A 6. That's not happy for him. Core systems. Grab the dice. And a 2. Engines disabled. 2 more points of damage. Only can move 50% and is subject to orbital decay. Now he's going to get shot by my Europas, because I kind of want it dead. So 6 shots from... So the 2 Europas are going to fire 6 shots into it. They're then going to both do their close action on this frigate. And they're also going to fire the other set of guns at the Emerald. So 6 shots. These guys are on the right layer, so it's 4s. And we get 2 criticals, and we get 2 armor saves. So 2 armor saves for the jet. By the way. What is failed? So it's just taking 3 more damage. So how much health has it got left now?
Score 11 whole. It's on 7.
And we just did 5.
5 damage.
Well, it took it took two damage. Yeah, 2 damage from the its engines being disabled, and then it took another 3 just then.
That's dead.
It is dead. Let's see if it explodes. A 1. A 1. It does not explode. Now we have 6 dice against the emerald. Again, this is 4s because we're on the same orbital layer. And I get 1 crit and 1 armor save. So 1 armor save for the Shaltari. 2. So take 2 points of damage for the emerald. I'm just going to double check the point defense of a Pandora. Sorry, not Pandora, a Europa. So we get 4 dice. So 4 dice against this frigate. Block 4. So that's 1 crit and 1 normal. Do you want to do point defense for the frigate? Moving dice around. Point defense for this frigate. See that? So I don't think that 6 was in it. Yes, so that was not a 6. So nothing from that. So 2 armor save, 1 armor save. 1 critical's gone through, and 1 armor save, which was a 3, everybody. So it's taking 2 points of damage, which means it's crippled. And we're going to roll on the crippling table again. We've got 4, which is hull. You can see that, got a 4. And then got a 6. So that ship is also dead. It's not within range 2. Okay, so yeah, that was a pretty devastating turn. Those guys were not nice. We will come back at the end of the activation draw. So we did a double check, and it turns out that we actually did enough damage to kill the emerald as well. These are not needed. So this is the current state of the game, and we're going to call it there. The Shaltari have conceded. There is only 1 cruiser left. He's not he's untouched though, and 1 frigate. Points have actually not changed. It's still 9-15 because we haven't done the end of. We did do turn 6, so we couldn't score anything else. There are a lot of very badly damaged ships in the PHR fleet. The Heracles has 5 health left. The Hector, I believe, only has 2 health left. So they are both very close to death. But yeah, a victory to the PHR. Nothing else to say really. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. There will be a short version of this battle report where we just do an end of turn summary. You can go watch that one instead. I'll try and put a link somewhere, probably in the description. But yes, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again. And next time, Battleship will be completed and named. So there we go. Hopefully all of them will be completed. Just got a lot of fins left to do. Okay, thank you very much.